Okay, I wanted to take a moment and show off my final project for mobile app development. This class has been using TypeScript and React Native. It's been tough, but it's been fun. So my final project is an interactive character sheet for Destiny Quest Legion of Shadows adventure book. I've made two other versions of the same thing using Python in my first class, and then HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and PHP in my web apps class. But ultimately, it would have been nice to have a mobile app playing on my phone. So yeah, here it is. Anyway, so the first app. This is my app TSX. This handles my Stack Navigator and all of this. These are the different screens that you'll travel to. I will show the code first, and then I'll run through the app. I have found that is I can't multitask very well. So this is the style for the transitions, which you'll see it slides up. This is the name of the screen. This is the component that's being used. So they're all being imported from here. Um, so these are all the different screens that you can go to in the app. Okay, so your first one is home screen. So in this, there's not a whole lot of logic. Mostly here, this is just making sure that the fonts are loaded, um, and this is the layout for the screen. Um, but most of the logic is handled in the components. So, for instance, this one's pretty cool. Reset hero button. You come down in here. So what? So all the character stats and information that you enter into the character sheet is stored into async storage. What this does then is it pops up as a modal, and it asks you, if you want to reset your character, make sure you do it. And so to not make it as easy, I put a long press on the pressable, and so it's calling the function reset hero and set modal visible, so it'll close the modal. So reset hero, what it's doing is um, it's taking what is in async storage and clearing it out. Real simple. So it just async storage clear. It's real neat. Anyway, so this delete hero reset hero function is called quite a bit throughout the program because as you'll see when there's a field you can delete that field instead of deleting the entire character. You can just delete a field. So that's the home screen. And then here's this pressable here takes you into the actual game or actual app. So this will take you into the inventory screen, which is right here. So here's all my imports for the inventory screen. I made so all the items in the book are in this app as uh, arrays, and the same thing with the hero path and hero career. Uh, those are all in the app too, and they pull all information from these constants. So, for instance, if you have, all your chest pieces are right here. All the items in the game are here. Cloak, chest, talisman, all this stuff, all the different items. And then also the same with careers and paths, are all right here too. So going back to inventory, and then most of this is just styling and um, passing in values and things. So stat key, this is how you save. This is how it's being saved to async storage. It's using the value cloak. That cloak is what displays on the screen. The stat key is what saves it to async storage. So in async storage, it's cloak and then whatever item is being pulled from data, which is kind of cool. It'll display it on the app and saves it. I just think it's neat. I don't know. It doesn't use local storage; it's using async storage. Same thing down here for, so all of this does this. All of it is doing the same thing. Stat key is saving it to armor. Stat key is saving it to item 3. The items are not in a constant. You have to enter those by hand. This is all styling. So let's see. So this is the menu. You'll see in the app that you can navigate anywhere in the app through the top. And then generate random hero name. I used GPT to generate an array of 100 different names. And so you have this. Just a bunch of random names. And I added some like dragon names because I thought it sounded cool. But yeah, so it uses that. And then when you click the button, random generate random character name, it will, generate a random character name. Or you can enter one. And then path is pretty cool too. When you click on path and career, it drops down to here, and you can select warrior, major, rogue. And then these are the different careers within those paths. And as you'll see, when you click like alchemist or berserker, it'll show you what special abilities are with that. So that's inventory. Let's see, passives is next. This one is the same. They'll pretty much essentially do the same thing. They'll just keep track of different aspects of the game. Here's the making sure the font's loaded. So then what this one's doing is the same. Pressable inventory action. This is all menu stuff. And it's doing the same thing here. It's saving it as speed modifier 1, pulling the data from passive, which you can select from a drop down menu. And all these do the same thing. Here's the title of the section. So yeah, for the most part, it all does the same stuff. Combat tracker is a little different because this is using data from other parts of the app that you enter in. So your speed modifier here is added into dice, so you don't have to do it yourself. It's automatically done. Because when you play the game, you roll 2 dice and then you add your speed modifier to it. Well, instead of just having to manually keep track of what the number is, it takes it from what you enter in here, right here, and then it takes it and dumps it into here, into dice. So we'll go look at dice here in a sec. But yeah, so this is all my imports for dice right up here. I set a background image. It's pretty neat. So we'll go over here to components, then dice. So I didn't write the majority of this. I just added total dice, initial speed, total speed. I added this because what the dice was originally doing was just rolling 1, and I wanted a couple extra. So what this is doing, it's the way that it gets your speed variable. It pulls it from async storage. Here it gets the stat key speed, and then it's taking that number and setting it into state, and then this is being added to the total. So it's being added to the total dice. So random number plus random hero number, they're both being added together. that number is then being added to uh, into here. So that's how you get your speed added into the total dice roll. It's kind of cool, but I did it both for the opponent and for the hero. I know I probably could have put these into one constant or one component, but I couldn't figure that out. So this was a little bit easier to separate them. I could do a little bit different. This is all just styling. But yeah, so this was pretty neat. Once I kind of figured it out, I was able to add in the stuff that I needed. So like all of this wasn't here, except for this. I added this and I added all this. So it's dice roll. Pretty cool. I'll show it here in a sec. Maps is pretty neat. So there's some logic in this one, just because I had to throw for the final requirement. I needed images, and so this is how I did it. So I'm importing the images as variables, and I'm setting in the state. And then what's happening is what it does is it loads up the image, and there's a legend in the middle of the book that tells you what the image is showing. Well, while I'm playing through the book, I don't necessarily want to have to flip through the middle. It'd be nice to just do it on my phone. So what this is doing is it's loading up. Um, it's loading up this image first, and then you come down here, and these are the functions that handle it. Let's see, where's bone? Right here. So on press N, right here, on press N, it shows the legend on top of the bone image. It's just kind of a convenient thing. I think it's convenient. And then when you let go of it, when you let go of the button, it sets it back to bone. So that's happening right here. So on press N, this one takes you to image Titheberry. This is the first town you come to. On press N or on long press, just so when you're scrolling, you don't just keep hitting it. You have to hold it down for a little bit. It starts out as Titheberry image, and then on long press, it shows the legend, and on the out press, it shows the Titheberry image. It's kind of a neat little thing. So anyway, this all does the same thing for the different images. There's only 3. So yeah, that's about it. Here is the note. If you want notes, you can keep track of notes. Again, it assigns it to StatKey, which puts it into async storage and saves it. So these buttons are all handled. So a lot of these are just different types of styles, but some of the pressable button text, they'll pop up a modal. You can enter in your information, and then you save it. And then this on the button press, it's setting the modal to false, so it's making it's closing the modal, and it's saving it, and it's running these functions here. So this is saving it to async storage. It's saving it as setting the item in async storage as StatKey, and then it's using it by the text. And then when you want to load it, which is done automatically, it gets the item as StatKey. It's kind of neat. It's a neat little thing. So yeah, so for the most part, all this is pretty much kind of doing the same thing. So on the combat tracker, there's a button that instead of having to switch back to your passives, you can just go to a screen that only shows the passives and what they do. I thought it was just a little bit convenient to have it all together in like one spot. So you can easily click a button. You can see what your passive is. You click back, and then you can go back to combat. Combat in Destiny Quest isn't anything crazy. Let's see. So I have These are all just stylings. Oh, this is my press a button for hero inventory. But yeah, so that's my app. I just kind of wanted to show it off. So now I am going to actually show the actual app.